EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a very loud and a sold-out Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
On the double.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Bravo.
They go play action here on first down. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there on the first play of the game. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff here to his running back. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Rush in.
On second down, loss. And he works free. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. 24 yards. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here first and 10 at their own 24. They begin the drive with Coleman. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And now it's third down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. A very solid gain of 27.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10.
Ready?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Flush to his right. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're forced to play catch-up early in this division round game as they search for a seat in the AFC Championship round. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, here's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And they give this time to the tailback. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On first down, Laws. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's complete to Fuller. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. This one complete to Ingram. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Watson. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's Watson. He's got Fuller. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 39, Watson trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13, and he'll bring this one back to the 29.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run on first down. Loss. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this shot downfield on second down is brought in. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 69 yards. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. The point after is good. And it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 47 yards. Now a first down throw. Watson for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Right here, right here.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson. He's got it to Ingram. Complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Ingram. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Eric Ebron there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Point after up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror.
He's got daylight. 30. 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Bengals grab it.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Hey, lock it.
Ready?
They run the counter. Loss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Buying time to his left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
19, 19, get the ball. 24.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he's got it. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
This clearly the final play of the half, but no field goal attempt. They're going for it with 3 seconds remaining.
Get wide. Hey, 31. 10. 10.
The final shot before the break, Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional Round. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Read it well, and it's picked. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
On first down, loss. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
me. Zipper.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll try the left side. Patton. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point safely through, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Makes the score. Bengals 38, Texans 7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere.
And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 27. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage. But you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 3rd down, it's Patton. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
You're not ready. You're not ready. Time out.
Watson now, operating from the gun. Steps away to his left. Going deep for Hopkins. This is caught inside the 15. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Let's bring it.
Operating from the gun. Watson. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he goes nowhere. He'll... lose yardage back at the 17.
Back at the 17-yard line.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Pilot, 64, weak. 2.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. O.J. Howard, 70 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point up and through. And the lead will swell by one more.
Bengals 52, Texans 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Ben Banagoo coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 23. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season,
and he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Texans scoop it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunity. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's Coleman. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Texans scoop it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
7 yards there and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Coleman now. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because
And he's going to go down again.
Well, these guys want to do something positive as this game approaches its end, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, it's really been more indicative of how the game has gone for them.
57. Mike, 57.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season, get his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.